All right, go time. Day 39, right? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That means we've made it through 38 other days just like this. Good times. All right, so today we should be finishing, I should be finishing, deploy a website. Look at this, we got a nice stack of things going on here. Who knew? By February, what's today? February something? February 8th, I would have this lovely stack of tricks, feathers added to my cap, right? Notches on my belt, whatever you want to call it. Point is, if I could wear these, I would look ridiculous. My wardrobe would just be highly questionable. Alright, onwards? Onwards. Section 3. So is that we did create a website, which was painful. I almost want to go back and do that one later, but I think this might be one of the ones that they're updating. Remember from, was it day 13 where I was going through the entire website, researching nonsense, and stumbled across that they're replacing a handful of courses to update them from their old system to the new format. Can't remember if deploy website was one of those, but anywho. Even if they don't change the courses entirely, I'm sure they'll update them slightly over time, so we can always come back whenever they add more. From there, we did create a website, deploy a website, and then custom domains. Now we've got section 3 that we get to tackle. Oh, that's right, Amazon stuff. I'm already signed up for Amazon, so I think it should be okay. Shouldn't be like yesterday. If it's like yesterday where I have to sign out, I'm gonna do, that was the other thing. I really should have had, I should have stopped. I should have set up the account really quickly and then all the tabs that I open, because I realized it didn't show. I mean, I knew it in hindsight, but after spending so much time opening up and going through so many tabs, in hindsight, I kind of wish I would have showed all those tabs as I was digging through them, but because I was still setting up the profile page and all that stuff, I didn't want to blast that out into the ether. But now in hindsight, I realize it didn't matter, and I should have just streamed the tabs. But we're getting off topic. Let's power through this. Hopefully today is not some 47-hour tangent of opening one tab after another, but they've got 13 pages, so this might be painful. Alright. Onwards. Learn. In the last unit, you deployed your site and GitHub pages assigned your site a default URL or domain name. In this unit, you'll purchase your own custom domain name and assign it to your GitHub pages website. At the end of the unit, you'll be able to access your site using both your new domain name and your default GitHub pages domain name. Before you choose a custom domain name, it's important to first understand what domain names actually are. Domain names are human-friendly names that identify servers on the internet. A global system known as the Domain Name System, DNS, is used for storing which domain names correspond to which servers. For example, Codecademy's domain name is www.codecademy.com. When you type that domain name into your browser, your computer asks the DNS server to identify which servers should receive the request in order to load our website. Note, this unit is optional. We'll walk you through the steps required to purchase a custom domain name and assign it to your GitHub page's site. If you don't want to purchase a domain name, you won't have to. However, feel free to follow along to see what steps are required to do so for future reference. Cool, because I ain't spending today. In the future, yes, but we've made it this far on free resources, so yeah. Right? Right. Good. Good. It's fun to pretend. Okay. Instructions. Observe the diagram to the right. In the top portion of the diagram. Also, side note, I feel like this is already kind of taken away from the glory. I'd mentioned I was excited to learn about Amazon Web Services. I don't know where the hell it went. Somewhere in there, right? Right? I get the feeling that it's not as glorious as I think it is. I was envisioning Amazon Web Services kind of something like GitHub, where it's as creative and as powerful as you want it to be, and, you know, more effort and creativity to throw at it, the better experience or offering you'll be able to produce with said tools. I get the feeling that it's more along the lines of the purchasing the domain name type services. Like, I'm sure there's more than one. I'm sure there's resources and guides and syntax and protocol and whatnot. Maybe we'll find out more about it, but I have this sneaking suspicion, a hunch, if you will, that it's not this wonderland that I was anticipating it to be, like GitHub was. Anywho, oh, also, I did even more research. I did like probably about another hour and a half's worth of research and opening tabs after the stream later in the night, after setting up the profile and the organization, which, come to find out, you could set up an organization after you set up a user. So I didn't need to set it up then, but either way. Good instructions. Let's do this. Observe the diagram to the right. In the top portion of the diagram, Bob wants to call Sue, but does not have Sue's phone number memorized. Bob types Sue into his phone, and his phone identifies the phone number associated with Sue. 3. The phone call is made. Sue's phone receives a request. It rings. If Sue answers, Bob and Sue are connected and can now communicate. We've got Bob calling Sue. Sue's number, 617, ... Bob's phone, 202, connects to Sue, Sue's phone. They be chatting real hard. The computer communicates with a website in a similar fashion. In the bottom portion of the diagram, 1. Bob wants to load the Codecademy website, but does not have Codecademy's IP address memorized. What a noob. No one should have it memorized. I'm sure someone does. Few people. IT must have it, right? Bob types www.codecademy.com into his browser in the DNS, then identifies the IP address associated with codecademy.com. The request to load Codecademy's website is then made. If the server successfully responds, Bob can now load and communicate with Codecademy's website. For more details, read the following Codecademy resource, HTTP request. We'll take a gander. We can gander. HTTP request. Background. What is this? We good? That was it? I don't think there's a lot more. Open codecademy.com. Bob. That's what he's doing with his life. I am Bob. I am opening Codecademy. Codecademy. 184.73.211.30. Bob's computer. 67 blah blah blah. Is 67 blah blah blah, or is it is Cox, or is 68 dot blah 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 Cox? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's 67 and 68 are both Cox. Pretty sure Bob's computer is on a Cox IP address, right? Right? Hopefully. Connect Codecademy server to so forth and such and such. Good. Section 2 onwards. Hey, 18-second video. Check it out. Could be epic. Hey. Create a free Aws account. 12 months of free tier access. Yeah, I don't like that wording. I can't tell if it's always free or just free for the first 12 months. Get the feeling it's free for the first 12 months. And then after you wake up from your year-long slumber, bam! Billing info. Deal with it. Although that's just a suspicion, so we'll find out. Often, the most time-consuming part of buying a domain name is actually deciding what you'd like it to be. Be aware that not all domain names are available. Many have already been claimed by others. We're going to use Amazon Web Services, Aws, to purchase your custom domain. Aws is an industry standard suite of web infrastructure services used frequently by developers. The specific service we're going to use to purchase your domain name is called Route 53. If you don't already have an account, create one at https://aws.com. Use Aws. Aws uses a thorough verification process. You have to confirm the following: contact info, payment information, no purchase necessary to open an account. What a debit or credit card is. Identity verification, a PIN entered via a cell phone. Support plan, there is a free one. Remember, creating an Aws account is free. There are no required purchases. The only purchase you'll optionally make will be the purchase of your custom domain name. Aws account includes 12 months of free tier access. Sounds pretty questionable, bro. What to do? We'll go to page 3. We'll see. We'll take a look. We'll keep this in mind for the future. Aws offers many services used for web development, like servers, databases, and network configuration. You're new to using Aws. It's easy to feel overwhelmed at first by all it can offer, but we'll walk through the exact steps needed to create a custom domain name. After logging into your account, you'll land on the Aws Console. The console displays the many different services we mentioned earlier. In this lesson, we're going to focus on a service called Route 53 under the networking category. Route 53 can be used to purchase domain names and create DNS records. Log into your Aws account. In the Aws console, click Route 53 located under the networking title. Does anyone see a networking title? I see compute, some noise, developer tools, Internet of Things. Interesting. Storage and content delivery, management tools, mobile services, database security, and identity application services, networking, which is blocked. We can see VPC, can't see anything else. On the page, under networking title, on the page, click on Get Started Now button Under the domain name registration section. On the next page, locate the two buttons at the top of the page. Click on the button titled Register Domain. We're going to play a 19-second video. Ever socks knocked off. Look at that. Under networking, Route 53. They weren't lying. Management, traffic management, availability, domain request. Wait. Did Kyle click back there? What? Okay, so they're listing domain registration. Yeah, and get started now. Okay. Again, webcam blocking my stuff. Register domain. Yeah, no. To get started, loads, and then we're tracking up from the lower right to the upper left. Register domain. Onwards, section 413. Now it's time to select a domain name and make sure it's available. Route 53 allows you to search the availability of domain names of a domain name you have in mind. It also offers many suffixes like .com, .io, .me, .pizza. Yeah, food. God, food sounds good. If the domain name you want is unavailable, as a .com, for example, you can try using a different suffix. .com for $12? Jesus, I hope it comes with lunch. Holy hell, I'm just thinking of food, I'm hungry. I suppose $12 is fine. Instead of .wordpress, but that's free. I'm rocking the .com version of WordPress. Yeah. Free for life. Okay. We're getting off on another weird tangent. If the domain name you want is unavailable as a .com, for example, you can try using a different suffix. The suffixes of domain names are known as a top-level domain name, TLDS. Different TLDS costs different annual prices. Note, .com domain names are the most popular and therefore generally unavailable or expensive. Oh, if $12 is the expensive version, that's no problem. That's hella cheap. For the year? It can't be for the year. Hey man, can't stay long, I'm at work. Hell yeah, working. Woohoo! Drop in and say hey. Awesome. Hey Topher. I guess this counts as work. Kind of. I'm trying to make this work. Good times, though. Hopefully work is going well. There's not a lot going on today. It's mostly reading about creating a domain name through Amazon Web Services. So not a lot of coding happening today. Okay. .com. Mostly unavailable or expensive. Instructions. In the field, type the domain name you have in mind. Do not type in www. Before the domain name. For example, if you want to try purchasing our domain name, you would type in codecademy and select the .com TLD in the drop-down menu. 2. Once you've entered a domain name you like, click the button to the right labeled check to see if it's available. If you'd like to purchase the domain name, select it and continue through the rest of the checkout process. Right. And how long is this video? 30 seconds. 6 deep. Your custom domain name, $12. Super unavailable. Hey, but look at this. Your custom domain name. All that noise is available. Ooh, missed on .net. .eu, that could be fun. Or .com, .au. Yeah. Down under. Is that insensitive? We're not going to find out. Section 5. Alright. Congrats. You're the proud owner of a custom domain name. You might notice, however, that your new domain name doesn't work yet. Ew. Dum dum dum. A twist in the plot. You can't visit it in your web browser. You have to connect it to your GitHub Pages website first. There are 2 steps required. 1, inform GitHub of the new domain name we'll be using, the one you purchased. 2, set up DNS records in Route 53 that direct to GitHub. Let's start with the first step. Instructions. 1. Open GitHub and access your repository you created earlier titled your username.github.io. Click the new file button. 3. Name the new file Cname. Do not add a file name extension. In the file on line 1, type custom domain name you just purchased in the following format: your custom domain name.com. You may have purchased a domain name with a TLD other than .com. In that case, make sure to use the TLD when creating the Cname file. Commit the new file. Under the title of the repo, click on Settings, scroll down to the section titled GitHub Pages, and confirm that there is a message similar to the following. Your site is published at https://yourcustomdomain.com. 7. Try navigating to your website in your browser using your domain name. It still doesn't work. Let's finish setting it up in the next few exercises. Awesome. 46 seconds of fun coming your way. Let's see what they've got to show us. A new file. github.io scene. Mail.org. File. Add my theme file. Interesting. I kept seeing that GitHub is like non-command line interface based, if that makes sense. Still new to all the terminology. But that commit right there, I don't know if that's just for the website documentation or if you are supposed to actually do the commit locally on your machine when you're working on it, or I suppose if there's a web version, maybe you're working directly in your browser. I don't know the options available yet, still haven't dug that deep, but it said like code, well, not quite coding free, but command line free, at least in a lot of areas. So I guess you just type in whatever, when we would do, what is that, git commit -m, then in quotes with our commit message for a modification. I guess you just throw that in there, and specifically I was talking about right about here, commit new file. To me, it seems like that section sort of negates the need for command line. Yeah, commit directly to the cool. So it is, we'll call it, I don't know, command line friendly, Neo command line, graphic line friendly. We're making things up. Section 6. Hey, little cat, what are you doing? Get the scratches. Oh, yeah. You love the scratches. On section 6, we haven't had to code a damn thing today. More reading, though. That's painful. Again, if no one can ever fall asleep, just throw on my stream, you'll pass out immediately. The new Cname file in your repository informs GitHub that you are assigning a new custom domain name to your GitHub Pages site. Next, we have to let the rest of the internet know that we want to associate the custom domain name with your GitHub Pages site. We can do this by creating DNS records, which are globally accessible records that map domain names to servers. The DNS records are created inside of a hosted zone in Route 53. Hold on, getting all kinds of Of course, the DNS records are created inside of a hosted zone in Route 53. A hosted zone is essentially a group of DNS records for a single domain. Fascinating. Access Route 53 once again on the left side of the page. Click on the title that says Hosted Zones. Notice that you have Hosted Zone for your new domain name. Click on it to open it. I'm going to hit play. 17 seconds of it. 53. Facemail.org. Hosted zones. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but good. Facemail.org, type NS versus SOA. Interesting. Slightly. Section 7. More importantly, wow, I was gonna say something, but I just totally blanked. No one's ever gonna know what was more important. God knows I don't. Okay, totally forgot. Domains are so. Oh, yeah, was it the chat? Hey man, can't stay long to work. Drop in and say hello. Is saying hi on stream good enough? Does that document it? Maybe he didn't have audio on. Maybe he was just in chat. I'm gonna say hi in chat, cause I can. Boom. What are we doing? Domain names are associated with the correct DNS records by setting the domain name server. Did I not hit send? I did not hit send. Cursor's just blinking away. Kitty, we didn't send it. Yeah, thanks for stopping. Boom. It's delayed. We don't know if he had audio. Could have just been chat. Little cat, will you stop licking yourself? Okay. After a domain name is typed into a browser, the computer first retrieves the name servers that correspond to the domain, to that domain name. Name servers are important because they are responsible with providing the computer with other important information in the form of DNS records associated with the domain name. Setting your domain's name server is important. The DNS is a global system, which means that anyone can create DNS records. We must verify that DNS records we create were actually created by the owner of the domain name, in this case, you. By doing this, the owner of the domain name ensures that only they have exclusive control over their domain's DNS records. Okay. Kind of. Instructions. Notice that the host zone for your domain name already has an NS name server record. This record contains 4 values. These are the hosted zone's unique name servers. Take note of the values and copy them down somewhere. So the NS499, Aws DNS 62, NS733, AwsDNS27.net, and blah 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 .org, .co.uk, and so forth. Those are all critical. On the left-hand side under domains, click the registered domains and click on your domain name. 3, on the right-hand side of the page, locate the section titled Name Servers. Wow, my eyes are just giving up on me. Notice that there are the same name servers that you hosted, zones, that your hosted zones, NS, record contained. This is just so bad. This is mind-numbing. 3. On the right-hand side of the page, locate the section titled Name Servers. Notice that these are the same name servers that your hosted zones NS record contained. Route 53 did this for you automatically. That was brutal. We almost didn't make it through section 7. Okay, selected those 4 hosted zones. Looking at registered domains, basemail.org contains, hey, name servers on the right. It's already got all 4. Okay, they weren't lying. That's good. Section 8. This is brutal. Now that your domain name is associated with the correct name servers, it's time to create some additional DNS records within the hosted zone. The record that we'll create will be used by the name servers to help locate your site when a computer wants to load it. Specifically, the name servers will be responsible for providing that computer with important information stored in the records. There are several different types of DNS records. We're going to start by creating an A record, which stands for address record. An A record directs a domain page to an IP address. This record will associate our new customer's domain name with GitHub servers. Inside your hosted zone, click on a button at the top labeled Create Record Set. A form will appear to the right. Leave the name field blank. Set type field to a-IPv4 address instead of IPv6. Maybe this is one of the courses that will be updated. Leave the TTL seconds. The value at the default of 300 in the value text box. Enter the following IP addresses. Keep them on separate lines: 192.30.252.153 and respectively 4. These IP addresses belong to GitHub. We are specifying that when your custom domain name is requested, the DNS should redirect to the request on GitHub. Read more information about this here. I think we've read enough. 4. Click the Save Record Set button at the bottom of the form. Dear God. Oh, did we not watch the stupid video? You know what? This isn't stupid. Someone took the time to actually make this, so that is important. This means that I have to wander in there, wondering what's going to happen. I'd also like to note they're using Google Chrome as their browser, which makes me happy. Makes Soul smile. Alright, so no name, type a-IPv4 address, value 192.30.252. For the current one, they're typing is 154. Nice. And I believe that's all she wrote. Oh, no, still 10 more seconds of this party. Good. Totally off topic. You know what show's awesome? The Goldbergs. Show's freaking hilarious. Okay, back to coding though. Section 9. Hopefully. Not section 9. When something, no, not something. When setting up a website, it's also conventional to also set up a www subdomain. www stands for World Wide Web. Subdomains are part of the main or root domain. For example, www.yourcustomdomain.com is a subdomain. Oh. In the yourcustomdomain.com root domain. We can set up a subdomain using Cname record, which stands for Canonical. How the deuce does one? We've got Canon and Ickle. Watching a 5-year-old learn to read is painful. Start speaking. Canonical. Canonical. I was right the first time, mostly. Probably said it like a moron, but that's alright. Day 39. Instead of the year of streaming and learning to code, it's day 39, year of streaming and Steven learning to read. That's what we need to rename to. Okay. Cname, which stands for Canonical. Fuck, can't even say it. Canonical? Canonical? Canonical. Good. Robot Man says it and very clearly, with confidence, from my computer. So, kudos to him. I like Cname a lot better. A Cname records death. So many misread typos on my behalf. A Cname record specifies that a domain name will be used as an alias or substitute for the true canonical. Yeah, domain name. That is an awful word. That's what that is. Instructions. 1. Inside of your hosted zone, click on the button at the top labeled Create Record Set. A form will appear. That's just A, not the A form we were talking about earlier. A form will appear to the right. In the name field, enter only www. Set the type field to Cname canonical name. This step sets up the subdomain. 2. In the value text box, enter the domain name that GitHub assigned to you earlier. The canonical domain name, username.github.io. Click the Save Record Set button. Save Record Set button at the bottom of the form. Good. 30-ish more seconds. Cname canonical. I don't use that word enough in my day-to-day life. Little kitty, you're so canonical, right? I don't think that's how that word works. God, I hope not. Was that it? That's the end of the video? It's hard to tell. Alright, 10 of 13. It feels like 600 of 8,000, but that's just me. Let's review your DNS setup so far. In Route 53, your domain's name... I should give up on... I should just blindfold myself and just say things randomly, because I haven't said a correct word for, like, the last 25 minutes. In Route 53, your domain name's hosted zone contains the following. 1. NS, name server, record... I don't know what... I think it's just the flow of it. Record and record obviously use the same letters, but in context pronounced differently. I know this is not Steven's personal speech therapy, but like... We've seen how interesting the instructions have been throughout all of Codecademy. It's how it flows. Like, you lose context that it's supposed to be record from the beginning of the sentence to three words later. Like, you should be able to anticipate, I don't know, the pronunciation, the context of the sentence, but each time for how it's written, the way it flows, that context is just not there. It doesn't have that flow. It's not written that way, and every time it just sets me up for failure, or I'm not good enough. That's the true moral of the story, but still, it would be nice if it flowed slightly, a bit more smoothly, right? Anywho, back to falling on our face. 1. The NS name server record for your domain name. That's it? That's not even a sentence? What the deuce? In Route 53, your domain name's hosted zone contains the following. 1. Okay. It's a list. Good. Fine. They're forgiven. 1. NS name server record for your domain name. When a domain name is typed into a browser, the DNS looks to the name servers to help direct the request. 2. The A or alias record. This record is used to direct requests of your domain name to GitHub server using the IP addresses. 3. The Cname or Canonical name record. This record specifies, my nose is hella itchy. It doesn't specify anything about my nose being itchy. This record specifies what custom domain name will point to your true and canonical domain. I just think it looks stupid. Like, I need to close my eyes to read that word. I can't look at it to read it. It's the text equivalent of Medusa. I just turn to stone when I look at it. Alright, instructions. Whew. When I eat after this, I will have certainly earned my meal, because this has been brutal. Alright. Oh my god, the easier thing would be to just cut off my nose. Holy hell. Observe the diagram to the right. It outlines the overall setup of your DNS records within Route 53. 1. You purchased a custom domain name through the domain name register, which in this case is Route 53. 2. For unique name servers, reading blows. 4 unique name servers were assigned to your custom domain name after your purchase. 3. To assign your custom domain name to your website, you had to set up a hosted zone with multiple DNS records for your custom domain name. The hosted zone was set up within Route 53. 4. Inside the hosted zone, the NS record was created automatically for you by Route 53. However, you created the A record and the Cname record. This setup allows you to visit your personal website with your new custom domain name, even though it's hosted on GitHub. Okay, cool. Domain name register, domain name, your custom domain name servers, 4 unique ones, flows to the DNS service, hosted zone, your custom domain name.com, a record, 65. Blah blah blah, your Cname record, your username.github.blah, brings us to our GitHub pages server. Ta-da! 11 of 13. Can you believe it? We are nearing the end. Thank friggin' God. You've now created 2 DNS records. A record of your custom domain.com and a Cname record of www.yourcustomdomain.com. Let's make sure that both work. 1. Try typing in your website using your root domain name in the website. In the web browser, you should see your new GitHub pages site. Right? That says it all. 2. Try opening your website using your www.subdomain in the web browser. You should see your new GitHub pages site. Note, it may take a few minutes for the DNS record to take effect. This is painful. We didn't get one, so we have nothing to type, although we could throw in, what was it? bdxinc.github.io. Was that the correct? I think that was the website we set up. Success. 12 of 13. Hot damn. Success. Your website should now display in the browser when you navigate to your custom domain name. The DNS may take some time to update records. If your site still doesn't load in the browser using your custom domain name, simply wait a few minutes. We can also use the dig command in the terminal to look up your domain name and make sure that the Cname and A records were properly set. The dig information groper? I don't know if it's supposed to be grouper, but it's clearly missing a U and straight up looks like groper. Let's see what Robot Man thinks. Speak, computer. Yeah. Groper, listen.
Groper.
I don't know if that's supposed to be what that is, but I think it's missing a U. That's just me. Okay. Itchy eyes, itchy nose, falling apart. We're slowly coming out of winter. The world is coming back to life, and pollen will take over the surface of the earth, and I'm gonna go back into anaphylactic shock. Dum dum dum. We all know it's true. Or it's just because there's a cat 3 feet from my face to the right. And I'm just allergic to everything, so, you know, there's that. Could be far less of an issue than we're making it out to be. What are we doing? The dig something? Yeah, we got thrown off by the groper command. Command is a DNS lookup utility. It can be used for a variety of things. In this case, we'll use it to verify your domain names, DNS records, instructions. Let's confirm that your DNS records are correct. Type the following into the terminal. Dig www.yourcustomdomainname.com. If all is correct, you should see an A or A record in the output along with the 2 IP addresses we added for the A record. You should also see Cname in the output along with your custom domain name and the GitHub default domain name. So you should see 5 things. Right? Oh, well, 4. No, 5. The A record, 2 IP addresses, and the Cname. 4 outputs for the 1 input, which is the dig command. So there should be 5 things in the terminal when all said and done. No checkbox to be green, so on to the next. Thank God, because we aren't paying for a domain, so good. Congratulations. It doesn't feel good at all. I mean, I suppose on a tiny emotional level, like I'm glad this is over with, but that was brutal. In hindsight, I don't know if we needed Git. No, we saw that there was Git or Jekyll. Either Git or Jekyll that reference like Ruby and a bunch of other stuff is everything between deploy website and Git, which was much further down. So I'm still glad I learned Git before conquering this. So that's that. That's the moral, the high point of this, the silver lining. I have a freakishly better understanding of how GitHub works, which is important. That's a great tool that I can reference when creating many things. All right, let's put a nail in this bad boy. Congratulations, you now have a static site with a custom domain name published to the internet. Let's review the process we followed in this lesson. 1, create an Aws account, and accessed route 53 and accessed. God, I need food. Route 53, 2, purchase a domain name. 3, access and host it. Yeah, access the hosted zone for that domain name. Confirm the NS name server records. Create A and Cname records. Use dig to display information about your domain name. Instructions. Take a look at the right. Take a look at the diagram to the right. In this unit, you successfully accomplished the third and final step, assigning a custom domain name to your GitHub Pages site. Remember that there are many different ways to deploy a site in the to the internet. In this course, you learned how to use Jekyll to generate site content and deploy that content to GitHub Pages, a free service provided by GitHub. You're now set up to maintain and update your own personal site on the internet. Happy coding. Happy trails, partner. John Wayne? No? Teach his own. Step 3, complete. Checks. Create an Aws account and access Route 53. This is all the same spiel. Access Route 53, check. Purchase a domain name, check. Access the hosted zone for that domain name, check again. Confirm the NS name server records. Check created a and Cname records. And lastly, check use dig to display information about your domain name. Again, reading all that noise. Although we didn't have to code a damn thing, I am glad we still went through this, because now we know what to do if and when we need to set up a personal/custom domain via Amazon Web Service. Amazon Web Services. Cool. We did 1, set up the stuff, set up the GitHub Pages server, and then 3, the mywebsite.com. Hot damn. Up next, we are freed. This is over, thank God. Hopefully, the up next doesn't do it. What if I head back? Back works. Next works here. It is loading. Slowly. There we go. Concluded. All done. Yo, courses. Hey, look at that. Okay. Let's take a look. 389 points. Viewing the profile. I am so glad that's over with. That was so brutal. Mentally, emotionally. Task-wise, that was probably the easiest section since we didn't have to do anything, but just like reading into the abyss. Holy hell. Brutal. Good. BDX Inc., California. Other stuff. 58 badges. 7 skills completed. 39 days down. Catalog. Tomorrow. Python. Gonna be epic. Learn to program in Python, a powerful language used by sites like YouTube and Dropbox. We're finally getting into the good stuff. And Git's conquered. Don't forget that. Down there. It's hot. It's real hot. Normally you gotta pay double for 2 dragons, right? Right? Okay. Are we good? We're backing out. Not sure where to start. Let's set you up for success with our Codecademy Pro. Trying to cut back. Back to my page. Boom. That'll be for tomorrow. Get started. Python. Continue learning. By starting Python, we suggest you continue learning with Python. Learn to program in Python, a powerful language used by sites like YouTube and Dropbox. Alright, we're good. We be dunsies. We are killing this. Thank God. Stop stream. Hell yeah. Kill it.